And they're also, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other things you're doing through your website that would probably make it a smart move for people if they wanted to get the book, to get it through your website. We'll come back and talk about that a little bit more. This is great stuff. I love this kind of interview. I get more out of this than I do any of the other interviews where I talk to people about buying stocks and stuff like that. I find this to be so much more inspirational. Jack Vincent is my guest, and his book is called The Way to Wealth. It's a revision in plain modern English of the message of Benjamin Franklin. We'll take a break and come back with more as we continue Money in the Morning right here on AM 600 KOGO, San Diego's news and talk station.
This is Your Money Weekend on
AM 600 KOGO, San Diego's news and talk station.
12:23 as we get back to work on Money in the Morning. Hi, everybody. George Chamberlin here. Thanks for joining us. I'm talking with Jack Vincent. He undertook a very interesting effort, and that's to take a book that was first written in 1758 by Benjamin Franklin called The Way to Wealth, and rewrote it in current English terms, and it's available, and we'll tell you more about that in just a little while. Jack, Benjamin Franklin was a successful, as you told us, a successful entrepreneur. You yourself have been an entrepreneur as well, right?
Yes, that's right, George. I've been in business, I think, from about the age of 20 years old. I've always been interested in business, and I've been involved in owning, running, buying, and selling a number of them.
And so this really is what you're doing with this book, and I hope it's eminently successful. I know you have some very laudable goals for this book, but this is really more of a passion for you than it is a career, right?
Absolutely. This book, I've written this book first. I've got 4 children of my own, and I see them and their friends. They need this knowledge in order to be successful in life. And then secondly, I've been very fortunate to be able to devote nearly a year to this project. And I want to share this with the folks out in our country that are struggling. And there's many of them that are struggling. And they're struggling because they're not aware of this information that Benjamin Franklin talked about way back in 1758 that still applies to today.
Yeah. You have a very laudable goal here, and that's to get 1 million copies of this book into circulation.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned before about the website. If a person purchases a book from my website, I will donate a copy of the book to their school library or their community library, in addition to the one, of course, we send them.
Wow.
Yeah, the reason I chose the distributor that I chose, which is Lerner Publications, was because they service the school and community library market, and I came across this book, the old version of it, first at my community library, and someone who's struggling, that has the $12 or $14 it costs to buy the book, they could just go on the website and buy it and read it for themselves. However, there are people out there that may be struggling so badly that they cannot afford to buy it. I want to get it into their community library or their school library.
What a great idea that is. And books have changed a lot over the years. The internet has given people access to information, but it's still in my family. We pass books around all the time. We've got a large family, and from one side of the family, one generation to the other, we're all constantly sharing books, and that's really something that I hope we never lose. Although I worry that we might someday, Jack, lose that.
I agree. How precious is it when a grandfather or grandmother or aunt, uncle, brother, sister, whomever, says, "Hey, read this book. This can help you in your life." Mm-hmm. I'm very thankful to the people that have had that sort of influence on my life, and there have been many of them. One
of my favorite things to do, Jack, is to go to library book sales, and people have donated books that the library is not going to put on their shelves, and so they have these sales to raise revenues, and it's a great thing. And I like to go out and buy older books on finance and stuff like that, and I'll find a book, Jack, that somebody has. One of the books I bought, somebody had taken this on a oceanic cruise. They were sailing from New York to London, and they wrote notes in the book margins throughout the entire trip. And it's almost, when I finished this, I almost knew that person. It was fascinating.
George, that's me. You're describing me. I don't know how you are with your books, but I love that feel of a book. And when I have a book, it's mine to use. I will do the same thing, write little notes, how it applies to me. And you're right. You lose that when you have an electronic book of some kind.
Yeah.
Although electronic books are good too.
Sure. Yeah, I mostly read a book with a pencil and a highlighter nearby, so I get the most out of it. Jack, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I want you to, again, go through the ways that people can learn more about the book and what you're doing.
Okay, thank you. The book is available anywhere books are sold, but the best place to go is directly to my website, which is thewaytowealthbook.com. We have all of the links on the website as to where you can purchase the book. But my main goal is if you purchase a book right from the website, I would like to donate an additional copy to your school library or your local community library. It costs you nothing. It's something that I want to do to give back to the community. The wisdom of Benjamin Franklin, the 23 principles that lead to financial prosperity and the 17 pitfalls that lead to financial problems. I want to get that information back out there into the public so that our citizens can once again prosper.
Well, the website will take you through all the steps to purchase the book and then to get that book donated as well, which is a very generous offer from Jack and the publisher. So take them up on that. Again, the website is called thewaytowealthbook.com. thewaytowealthbook.com. And again, the book's available in other places, but this would be the smart way to do it. Jack, thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you very much, George.
Continued success to you with what you're doing there. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back and open up some phone lines. We'll take your calls and answer your questions. The number's 800-600-5646, or in the metro area, 858 area code 569-8255. That was awesome. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I enjoyed talking with Jack. I don't meet a lot of people like that, and to have that opportunity was pretty cool. Quick break and back with more Money in the Morning.
Your Money Weekend continues on
AM 600 KOGO, San Diego's news and talk station.
It's 12:37 as we continue Money in the Morning, move into the final stretch here. Hi, everybody. George Chamberlain here. Glad to have you along for the ride as we continue this 3-hour edition of Money in the Morning into the extended version right now on AM 600 KOGO, San Diego's news and talk station. That was a lot of fun for me. I hope people enjoy it when I have fun. That was a marvelous, inspirational interview with Jack Vincent, and the book is, again, a small little tome, but it would be a great thing to share with people you know, with your children or grandchildren. And it was interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. I've tried to read some original Ben Franklin books that were written in the style of English back in the 1700s. And it's very hard to follow the continuity, the way the words were used back then. And to take the book and modernize, but not change the message, but simply modernize it a little bit as far as its readability, is a stroke of genius, and it gives new life to the work that Ben Franklin did and what it means. And I so appreciate what Jack Vincent did to do that with the book called The Way to Wealth. And the best advice is check it out. Go to the website, thewaytowealthbook.com, and you'll be glad you did. All right, open phones now. We'll do that for the rest of the way here. 877-600-1130. Why did I just gave out Aramco mortgage number again? Why do I keep doing that? 1-800-600-5646, 1-800-600-5646, or in the metro area, 858 area code 569-8255. A mind is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. All right, let's go up to Oceanside. Hey, Jack, how you doing today?
Well, in the past, you and I have talked about some of the problems with Social Security. And there's one aspect of Social Security that I don't have a problem with, and I think we should talk about it, and that's the Social Security Trust Fund, because it's continually being demonized and attacked. And there's a lot of misconceptions, and the two most prevalent misconceptions is that Congress spent the money and there's only IOUs there.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that Social Security is the only pension-style trust fund that didn't lose any money, because what Congress did was they financed the debt with the trust fund money by investing it in treasuries.
Sure.